Tafoya, NBC Sports. Listen to Michelle on NBC Sports Radio, the NBC Sports app, NBCSportsRadio.com as part of all the NBC Sports properties as we are in Super Bowl week. And, of course, Michelle been covering the NFL for a long time. Sunday Night Football gets a chance to be around a lot of these. The Falcons, interestingly enough, Michelle, did not appear on Sunday Night Football this year because I don't think a lot of people thought they'd be in a game of this magnitude. But the Patriots there multiple times. So we'll start off with, are you surprised by this matchup? Are you surprised these are the two teams standing at the end?
No, actually, I'm not. And, I have a feeling Atlanta's going to be on multiple times next year. Because, you're right. We had Atlanta in the preseason, and, I expected them to be better, but I don't think anyone expected this. And it's been a really nice surprise. I always enjoy when a team resurges, and this team has been that. They've been resurgent, and Matt Ryan has been so good. And, and Julio Jones is another gem in this league. So when you have talent of that caliber, you like to see them succeed because you want to be able to showcase it. So I was surprised with how easily they seemed to put away Green Bay in the conference championship game. That did take me aback a little bit, but that kind of made me look forward to this game even more. I mean, are they on that kind of a roll that it could be troublesome for the Patriots?
Michelle, you did mention, that they did not play, but probably next year they will. But the Patriots have been on for years. Over the years, what impresses you the most about Belichick? I don't know how much dealings you have with him, but he just seems like a guy who we don't know a whole heck of a lot about. But is there things behind the scenes or leading up to these games that maybe you could share that would give us a little bit better picture of who this football curmudgeon seems to be?
Yeah, I'll tell you, the thing that a story I like to tell, because he told it to us, is about the way that he was brought up in the coaching ranks. And when he first started, he sat in basically a closet and went through these index cards of plays, and they had a way of sorting out these plays that was as rudimentary as it gets. So, no computers, no iPads, no digitizing of any of this. It was done by holes that were punched in a particular spot in the card and lining up those little holes. So it kind of reminds me of the first chapter of Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers, that when someone is that in-depth for so many repetitions for so long, they become it becomes almost second nature to them. And I think that's Bill Belichick. And, I know what his reputation is. His players all tell you that he's really funny in the locker room. He's got a very dry wit. And, there are times where in meetings, our production meetings, he'll stand up and say, Chris, stand up, and he'll show him, what he's teaching a defensive lineman or how he's teaching an offensive lineman to use his arms. So, we do get a little bit different of a glimpse of him.
When you, do your dealings with different teams for Sunday night preparation, is dealing with the Patriots different? Do they do their business differently?
I would say that they are just, you always know what you're going to get. They are a very serious group, and I don't mean that everyone's walking around with a frown on their face. They just have a very regimented schedule. And but I've also seen times where we'll walk out to practice because we usually do a meeting in the morning, and then we go to practice and then go back in for additional meetings. And last couple of times we've been there, Bill will be walking out to practice and seek out Chris and stand around and yak with Chris about all kinds of things, whether they're football related or not. And so I think there's a side of him that, again, maybe be reserved for Chris or someone who has a football background, who he feels a little bit more comfortable with. But they are definitely regimented. They definitely have their schedule. They're really not that different from most teams.
Michele Tafoya with us, Sunday Night Football, NBC Sports. Michelle, what stands out about the Falcons and their identity as a football team?
Just how explosive they are offensively, and I think you can't say to me Atlanta Falcons without me immediately going Julio Jones. I mean, this guy is a superstar. It's been like this bottle of potential that's been waiting to explode. You've seen it in glimpses, and this year you've seen it in full doses, and it's pretty exciting stuff. He is I like him because of the way that he was raised, because of the way that he takes responsibility for everything he does, for any mistake that he might make. He never blames anybody else. I like that about his character. And then there's Matt Ryan, who one time we came out of a meeting with Matt Ryan a couple of years ago, and I said to the crew, I said, if we had a list of the most polite quarterbacks in the NFL, Matt Ryan might have to be at the top of the list. He's just a really nice, pleasant, respectful, very courteous, congenial guy. And so it's nice to see him having the kind of season he is.
Penn Charter alum. Maybe they taught him that politeness and manners at Penn Charter. That's the school just outside of Philadelphia there. Hey, Michele, do you see a lot of points in this one? Because you said explosive. So do you see this as being a high-scoring affair?
It's hard not to see it that way. It's hard to see the Patriots slowing them down enough. But you know what? It's also very difficult for me to sit here and tell you definitively that the Patriots can't do that, because the Patriots surprise people in so many ways. They come up with some schemes or concepts or formations that you've never seen before, and suddenly, you're intercepting Russell Wilson at the goal line. So it's just their preparation is superb, and it's never ending. And so I'd love to see a high-scoring game. I think that'd be a lot of fun. We'll just wait and see. I've learned that it's very tough to predict things in the NFL.
Michele Tafoya, NBC Sports, of course, the Super Bowl 51 this weekend, and you can hear that game right here on 97.3 ESPN. A little look inside the mind of Belichick and the Patriots, and I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of points, a lot of fun for Super Sunday. Let's hope the Falcons' defense can hold up their end of the bargain. They seem to be the one weak link in this one, but they've been pretty good in the playoffs. Michele, we always appreciate your time.
You got it, guys.